The following podcast is brought to you by Iconic Nation Media.
Hi, I am Tatiana, but you can call me Tata. I am so excited to provide you with helpful insights and create a safe, cozy space where you can ask me anything about parenting. Each week, we will spotlight specific parenting topics to help guide you to be the best parent you can be. We are here to support you, help overcome challenges, and have some laughs along the way. With that, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the parenting experience.
Welcome. Congratulations, Tata. Oh my gosh, this is too exciting. Really, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is your very first episode. How are you feeling?
A lot of emotions, excited, nervous, but ready to kick off and let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
So, okay. This is your very first episode. So today what I want to do is I want to grab the reins from you for your show. And the reason for that is because I want your wonderful, amazing audience to really feel like they get to know you and your story and the foundation of what it is that you are bringing forward to help them with.
That sounds amazing.
Okay, so before we dive into your history, which is very deep and rich and colorful.
That's a good way to put it, colorful.
Yes. Before we dive into the details of your story, why did you want to start this podcast? What do you want to give people with the podcast?
My main goal is to be able to serve others through some information. You know, no one is born with a manual of how to be a parent, and that includes me. I have learned a lot of things along the way, so for me, it's very important to be able to give others what I have been given. And I've been working with children on the parenting side for over 16 to 18 years. So for me, it's very important to give something to the community and, tell them that parenting, it's all about the experience, daily basis, journey. The ones that teach us the most is our kids.
Okay, so let's get started. Tata, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? So starting with where you were born, where you were raised, and what that looked like.
Okay, well, if I get emotional, I'm sorry. I am from Barranquilla, Colombia. Love where I come from. I'm Latina, very loud. Sometimes people tell me, stop screaming. I say, I'm not screaming. I just have a high tone of voice, and that is very typical from our country or from my town where I come from. I came here to the United States. A sad story basically brought me here. I stood in the altar after a very long-term relationship, and I needed to basically found myself.
And how old were you when you moved to the United States?
I think I was 23 years old. But, growing up, and I think this is where the passion of working with children and everything, I grew up with, unfortunately, a very abusive father and alcoholic father. And for me, I never had an understanding how you can hurt so much when you gave life to your kids. And I think that's where my passion came from, to be able to give others and educate moms, dads, children in a very functional way. I think that through my pain and the hazards and the abuse that I went through when I was a child, and healing that, because I went to counseling, I went through therapy to be able to understand my dad and not have expectations as a daughter, gave me the passion to be able to go to school, study, learn about parenting, children's, infants, and give mothers some hope. And that you can raise the child and be a functional child, in a very simple way. Because sometimes we make parenting very complicated.
Yes. There's so much purpose in your pain if you let it. And I think that is a theme that folks are going to start to really appreciate as we go through your story. Is your father still alive?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And tell us about your family dynamic briefly growing up, like siblings.
I have 2 brothers, and they're amazing. They're part of my life. I can't imagine my life without them. We grew up together.
What's the order, the birth order?
I am the middle one.
Okay.
And I have an older brother and I have a younger brother.
Yes.
And they're all married. The younger brother has 1 daughter and the oldest brother has 3 daughters.
Okay.
My mom, both of my parents, they live. My mom lives in Miami. She comes and goes. She's retired, living the good life. And my dad lives in my hometown in Barranquilla. We have, let's say, good relationship after all the abuse. Things that I learned is I stopped having expectations as a daughter. My dad also comes from a very huge family, but also abusive. So that's all he knew. No one taught him how to love. And that's the way he realized he was raising his kids. So for me, when I went to therapy, I understood, Kimberly, that forgiveness was my main thing. I needed to forgive my dad. And I understood that my dad didn't have love to give because he didn't know how to give it. And that changed our relationship completely. We do have boundaries a lot right now. Even though I am an adult and I am married and I have kids, we do have a relationship with a lot of boundaries because unfortunately he still drinks. But we are able to have a functional relationship with a lot of respect because I understood the way he was raised. And he never went to therapy. He never, for him, there were other things more important than his family. So that gave me a completely different vision. And like I said before, I think this is where my passion for helping mothers or families or children's comes from.
That makes so much sense. So many times as adults, we become the answer to our own prayers, to the little young version of ourselves that we desperately needed. So you moved to the United States. You're how old again? How old when you moved to the United States?
I think I was 23, 24 when I got here. Yes, 23.
Okay.
Yes.
So where did you go?
I went through Miami to my best friend's house, mom's house. I didn't have anyone. When I came here to the United States,
Did you speak English?
I did. Because I learned English in my school. So I had 2 things, my career and English. My marriage got canceled after a very long relationship. And that taught me a lot of things. One of them is I was looking in a husband, the father I never had. So that gave me the wrong concept of what marriage is all about. I was engaged, but I never got the opportunity to get married. But we were together for 6 years. And that literally destroyed me as a woman. I didn't understand why I never had, until today, I never knew why he canceled the wedding. Because we were together for 6 years. And it wasn't a pressure wedding or... what is it that they do in India? Like a arranged marriage? No, not at all. We were together, fall in love. We had an incredible relationship. And all of a sudden, the day, he never wanted to get married. But
was this the wedding day? Give us the tea.
Yes.
The day of the wedding, he canceled
We were getting married in Mexico and he never showed up to the wedding.
What?
So that literally destroyed the little bit of hope that I have as a woman, because the second man that I basically put my trust in literally destroyed me.
Did he ever explain to you, or did you ever speak with him again?
His parents talked to my parents, and what they said, he never showed up. He never showed his face. He never talked to me. His parents talked to my mom and my dad, and what they said is that there were differences, and he decided not to get married at the very last minute.
Wow. And that must have been...
It was...
heartbreaking.
I was hurt without an understanding, but God always has a purpose. When I came here to the United States, I said, well, I have English. I didn't want to go back to my hometown because I come from a very small society, and I said my family was questions the society and everything was so public. I didn't want to start explaining people where I didn't even have explanations.
Wow.
So for me, it was very, very hard. So that's the reason why I chose to, come to the United States. It wasn't like, oh, let me go to Miami and have fun. No, it was because I was devastated and I didn't want to deal with questions. I needed to find questions.
Wow.
So I had two things. I had my career, I had English, and I said, I can go there for 3-4 months and then decide what I am going to do with my life. And in that, let me decide what I'm going to do with my life. Basically, I decided to stay and make the United States my home. And
Wow.
I am so grateful for this country.
Wow. So we'd like to thank the man that stood Tata up at her wedding maybe 20 plus years ago.
Yep.
Thank you, because your loss is our gain and it's our gift. And that is the best thing that ever happened to you. And now we understand why. So
Finally, yes, I went through a lot of healing, a lot of healing. One of the things that I recognized to myself is that I had a lot of hurt in my heart. I never went into like drinking or those type of coping mechanisms, but I said I need to seek help. And I did. I am a woman that I have a strong faith and believer, and I always thank God for my pain, or because I believe that there's purpose in your pain.
Yes.
There is.
There really is.
And sometimes God puts people in your life that through that pain, you can give so much life. And that's when my journey basically, Kimberly, started, because I seek help and my life changed.
That's unbelievable. Okay, so you're here in the United States, you make the decision to stay, you obviously are trying to create a new chapter for yourself. What is the next major thing that happens or that you do?
I got diagnosed with cancer.
Oh my
18
gosh.
months after I was here. Basically, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer. I started gaining weight. We should show those pictures.
We can show them on your parenting experience Instagram.
I am gonna bring those pictures. One day I started gaining weight with no explanation whatsoever. And in 1 month I gained 60 pounds. And
60,
60, yes.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I didn't know what was wrong with me. And my mom at that time was going through, finally, it sounds ironically, but it is, the whole family was very happy from the moment that I am pro-marriage, but my mom needed to get divorced because she was very abused by an alcoholic husband. So while my mom was going through the pain of her finally, after 36 years of marriage, making the decision that it wasn't healthy anymore, that she couldn't save my dad, that no psychiatrist, psychologist, therapy could save her marriage. And she said, I need to save myself and my children. So my brothers and I, we were big already, but she finally, so when she was going through the divorce, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancers. I started having a lot of health issues, and the doctors, of course, at first they thought that that I was becoming diabetes because my A1C was a little bit higher. And they realized that it wasn't a sugar issue because of other blood testing that they did. And my mom in her gut said, this is not a sugar issue. This is something else, and we need to start digging deeper. That mom's intuition. Mm-hmm. So that's basically when my mom started digging. It said, we need to find doctors. So they sent me to an endocrinologist, and basically they start running all different type of tests on me until they find out that I had basically 1 tumor and 3 cysts around my throat. So I was losing my voice at that time. Every time I talk, I was, first of all, I talked for 2 hours, became hoarse, and then after being hoarse, I lost my voice like for 24 hours. And that's when they realized it was something that has to do with my throat. So they did all the testing, and I tested positive for that.
Oh my gosh. And what's the irony there is you're using your voice right now to tell your story.
Well, I never thought about that.
This is a major moment to recognize the power of your voice and how important our voices are. So what did they do for your thyroid
that's
cancer?
Another journey, because I basically started chemo and radiation. And I wish I could have done things different, and you will know later on why I am saying that. Radiation was in pills. I was taking radioactive pills to reduce the tumor, and I did that for 18 months. And basically, the radiation never helped me. So I basically, after extensive, first of all, my weight was uncontrollable. So I was gaining more weight and more weight. It was unstoppable. No matter if it was unstoppable. It was something with my body and the treatments and everything that put me in a hormonal weight gain. And after 18 months that the doctors figured out that nothing was working, I went through surgery. So with 305 pounds.
You were 305 pounds. And how tall are you?
5'6".
Oh my
I gotta bring you those
goodness.
pictures.
We're gonna have to definitely share the pictures with the audience.
And then I went through surgery. They removed, the cysts, the tumors. It was a long surgery because, like I explained, 3 cysts were attached to my vocal cords. And you know how vocal cords are very delicate, and if they touch them, you can lose your voice forever. So they were, surgery was like it wasn't simple, but it wasn't a 6-hour surgery. It was like kind of 3 and extended to 5.5. And they removed everything. They removed my thyroid. And after that, I was very thankful. Finally, I was on a treatment after my surgery for a year to make sure I became in remission in 5 years. And I did. But that, my health journey didn't stop there. The treatment and the cancer, the thyroid cancer and everything left me with 305 pounds. So my self-esteem was destroyed. I didn't love myself, Kimberly, that's the truth. Every time I never had weight issues, and then all of a sudden I'm trying to weigh 300 pounds, and I said, I am gonna deal with this. It did affect me a lot. And, to learn, I will always love my endocrinologist in Miami. His name is Coelho. And if he will ever see this, I am so thankful for that man's life, because when I got out of surgery and I started my treatment to become in remission, he told me something that not even my own dad told me. And it was, you need to love yourself the way you are so you can go to the next step and lose your weight. I hated the way I looked. Like I was size 22 or 24 in clothing. And just accepting that, and then I have to give some grace to myself and just say to God, like, thank you. I am alive.
Yes.
And it took me years.
So your journey did not stop there. So after you were able to successfully make it over this cancer battle, how old are you at this time? And then what happens?
I think I was, 27, 28. I think so.
So you're in Miami, you're 27. You got left, first it was the abusive father. Then you got left at the altar on your wedding day. Then you gained an unbelievable, you doubled your, let's just say doubled your weight.
I think so. I doubled my weight because I have always, I'm always weighed between 130, 135, which is what I am right now. And I think I gained 150 pounds just in an 18 months of treatment. So after that, what did I did? Of course, I was, working, sustaining myself. As an immigrant, it's not easy. You have to do whatever to survive. And I did. And I'm not embarrassed. I have my profession. I had my English, but also I was cleaning houses, babysitting, trying to make my meats. And I didn't have insurance when I was going through my treatment. So my mom and I, both of us, were working 24/7. And basically we were living in a 1-bedroom, not apartment, in a one bedroom, the two of us.
Like a studio where it was one room only?
It was just a one bedroom. And our cart was full of suitcases and pillows and blankets because she was working to pay for my chemo and my treatment. At that time, we're talking 20 years ago, it's like one set of treatment was $1,500. So it was a lot. So we decided to basically kind of live in our car and just rent one bedroom apartment because for me, every single cent and dime counted.
Yes.
Just to have my right treatment. And it was 18 months of treatment.
Wow.
So it's, I totally forgot about that.
Wow. So you're
my mama is my hero.
Yeah, she's mine too. I can't wait to have her on. So what was the next major milestone or accomplishment or next step that you took once you were starting to kind of get this cancer journey, for lack of a better way of saying it, under control? Then what happened?
I think I finally finished my healing, and all of these includes, I was working, I never stopped working, and everything I was doing for me. And my passion for children and family became bigger and bigger. So I think I went through a place that it's called the Women's Refuge in Vero Beach, Florida. I was going to, like I said, my faith is really strong. I am Christian, very proud. And I don't know what I would do if I didn't have God. Because in the darkest of my darkest moments, I always have faith and hope. And I always look up and I said, this is going to be better. I don't know when, but I know it will be better. And that kept my motivation going to keep fighting for my dreams, for my life, and for my family too. So I was going to an incredible church. I had incredible pastors in Miami, Florida. And their names are Jose Victor and Jessica, and I will always give honor to who honor deserves. They saw in me what I never saw myself, or because that, Kimberly, that the father is the one that gives the identity to the parents, to the kids. I mean, the father is the one, the male figure is the one that gives the physically gives the identity to the child. The mother gives that part of nurturing, but the father is I didn't have that. So my identity was already broken. My pastors, I will never forget, we said, Tatiana, we want to seed into your life a healing program because you have so much potential in your life, but you need healing. And we would love to see this into your life. And they sent me to this place. It's called the Women's Refuge for a healing program. It's one-on-one counseling. And I was there for, I believe, 9 months. And that place changed my life, Kimberly.
Were you living there?
I was living there. It's an incredible place. The counseling is one-on-one. It's faith-based. But the counseling is one-on-one, very private, even though you are living with 8 women. The founder, Donna Roberts. So I was there. The moment I started doing my counseling and doing the program, I saw the benefits because I only had one goal in my life. And that was, let me be a better woman. Let me be a better mother. Let me be a better sister. Let me be a better friend. I have a servant heart. I love to serve people. And I could not do it if I had so much pain due to the way I was raised, with so much dysfunctionality and abuse.
Right. And I think the takeaway for people on that point is really this idea of making sure that you are whole and to the best of your ability, you are actively either healing yourself from trauma or that you are happy, whatever that looks like. Even if you're not trying to overcome past trauma, women need to be whole in order to serve better. And I think that's a really interesting thing that you were able to know instinctively, that I need to be healed so I can serve.
Yes. And in my case, for me, was life-changing You know, it's life changing when you find somebody that tells you, I see your talent. I believe in you. You're so, I don't want to say gifted because I'm a human being. I make mistakes. But when you see the good in your heart and your father never saw that in you, it's life changing. For me, it was. Like when I remember one of the things that literally transformed my life, Kimberly, when I went to a women's refuge was they gave you the manual and they leave your healing up to you. Even though you're there, you have to fight for your own healing. And when they gave me the manual and I start reading, because it's like a military program kind of thing. You have to wake up at 5:30, do your devotional, do exercise, then you prepare breakfast. You know, we're a little community and like we're together, but we're not together because every woman that goes there, they fight for their own healing. And when they gave me the manual, one of my counselors, I asked her, I said, you're not gonna check what I'm doing? And her answer was, we trust you. For a lot of people, that may not be very significant, but I never had anyone in my life, 27 years, that could tell me, we trust you. I never had my dad. You know, everything, I was programmed in a very negative way. So for me to get out of that was, you know, it took the courage. I wanted it to be better. I never was in addictions. Thank God I was never promiscuous. I was never sleeping around because I had so much respect for the values that my mom put in me. But I never had a dad to tell me, I trust you. Fight for your dreams.
Is that, like, is it that you were being controlled your whole life?
Yeah. He controlled everything. My friends, the place I used to go. I used to love swimming, swim professionally when I was in high school. He took that away from me. Everything. He controlled even my career, what I wanted to study. And when my career didn't fit his needs, because I started studying, I started my university in Bogota, the capital of Colombia. And when that didn't work out, he pulled me back to Barranquilla so he can have more control of me. His problem was women because he was abused by his mother. So you see the cycle repeats.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So his thing was women. Never, like my brother experienced a very type of different abuse than I did. Like he never touched my brother. He used to not spank him. Like he used to hit me with the, the belt has the...
Yeah, the belt buckle.
The belt buckle. That's what he used to hit me with. So his thing was a woman. So for me, going back to the refuge, that place, like,
really,
they saved me. Yes.
Wow.
And they gave me the tools to have a functional relationship with him. They gave me the tools to understand that my dad will never, ever will give me love because he was never loved. And that gave me peace.
So this idea of, and this is, I'm sharing this thought so that people that might be in a similar situation of a control, abuse, oppressive circumstances, is recognizing that somebody else's behavior is not necessarily about you. It's about them and their own limitations and their own trauma and damage. And when you were able to recognize that it's about him, not you, you were able to heal and take back your power. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's huge.
And right now, like I told you at the beginning, we have a relationship with a lot of boundaries, but I feel like I can honor my dad. And, the Bible doesn't tell you have to love your father and mother. The 10 Commandments tells you honor your father and your mother. And that I do it very genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I honor my dad as to the best to my abilities. And when I don't like something, I am not afraid that you're going to hit me because I'm telling you the truth. So I am not. I will say, Dad, this is what it is. And I always remind him, if you want to have a relationship with me, these are my boundaries. And I honor you. I respect you. We don't talk about the past, but he knows I already forgave him, which is, I think is huge for him.
Okay, so now you go through that program. You're now on a healing journey for the first time in probably your whole life. And so now you're 28, 29?
I think so.
And then what happened?
So when I felt like I am human, I am a functional woman, for me, that's key to my functionality. I was function. I didn't have to do things to please people or wear masks just to be accepted for others. And because that's what I did with my dad, I was doing things out of my own heart. I learned how to say no. I learned how to put my boundaries in it. So I said, okay, let me start working now on my career. Not even a boyfriend. Let me serve people. Let me serve my community. And like I said, I have a small group, but I think that's when my whole journey about what I was passionate all about with, working with children and parents and everything, basically kick off. Let's put it that way.
You finally were able to serve and start to live in your purpose.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Tell us a little bit about your education during this time. When did you end up going to NYU?
2017, basically. 2017.
So tell us about that part of your journey, because I think it's really special and quite remarkable, your academic achievements.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I did behavioral therapist. I'm a behavioral therapist. I never went to working hospitals or anything like that. That wasn't my thing. My thing was offering my service in-house. Very unique way, but I became very passionate of teaching mothers how to stimulate babies, how to put babies to sleep the right way. You can accomplish a lot if you do it the right way. Teaching the moms, no new mothers have time to start reading books.
That's right.
Basically, no new mothers have. So one day I woke up and said, if I can teach the moms, I am the book, but I give you all the tips and secrets. So that's when my passion became. And then before I did my master's in holistic nutrition, I basically did my pediatric nursing. It's a very different, I didn't went to nursing school. I got the certification that you can be a pediatric nurse in-house. I cannot work in hospitals, so let's make that clear. But I do have my certification that I can help mothers in a very pediatric way, working from home.
Okay.
And then I did the sleep coaching from the Pediatric Association. And then I did my holistic nutrition while I was working with an incredible family in 2017. I was doing both things. I was working with my master's and I was training babies, twins, to say the least.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And is this when you were at NYU, you were getting your master's?
Yes, I did it online.
Online?
Yes.
Okay, so you're working and you're now getting your master's. How
Yes.
old are you at this time?
Oh my God, that was in 2017, I think 41.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Between that time, 28 to say 38, what were some of the big highlights, milestones in your career?
I was
Anything
working
specific?
with basically high-profile families in-house that they love basically what I was doing. So, and I became an expert in basically multiples. I trained triplets. I have 2 sets of twins, and I was basically, mothers fell literally, Kimberly, in love with the fact that they not only had a night nurse, let's put it that way, but also someone that knew about children's behavior, sleeping, coaching, and they could put all the things together and, learning so much to stimulate their babies, feeding the right way. One of the main things is moms wants to go to sleep they want to sleep at a very early age as soon as possible. So there's ways to do that if you do it the right way, when you start knowing how your child talks to you through his behavior. So that's basically what I started to do in those 10 years, working with families, and I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. Also, I got married in those
let's
10
talk
years.
about your wonderful,
I
amazing
got married.
Mark.
Oh,
Tell us.
my chichi.
My chichi.
Is, yes. Yeah, we were together for 18 months. We got engaged. And for me, marriage is sacred. That's at least what my mom put in my heart at a young age when I was becoming a teenager. So because I had the wrong concept about what marriage is all about, I made a promise to myself that I was going to get better, understood what marriage was going to have it the right way, and then start dating again. So in that area, I was, I think, 32 years old. I think Mark and I met each other through basically kind of a blind date. And, I didn't like him at first, but we have one thing in common.
What's that?
Basketball.
Oh.
I love the NBA.
Oh, really?
Miami Heat. I love my 305 NBA team. I am a ride or die Miami Heat fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I am a ride or die Miami Heat fan. And Mark and I, he loved basketball too. He's a big NBA fan as well. And he loves all the sports. He loves NFL, hockey, but, NBA was our kid. So he started inviting me to friends, because when I met him, I said, oh my God, this man, I talk too much. He doesn't talk. He's so boring. This is not for me at all, at all. And, I do talk a lot. So he said, oh, you want to go to see the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic? I said, let's go. And we went through with his best friend. And, and that was it. Oh, and then he called me, oh, another game. You want to go? Let's go. And then we started going to NBA games. And that's when I realized he is such an incredible human being. Literally, he stole my heart. He was kind. He was gentle. Little by little, I started opening myself. I always use my pain to the comfort of others. It's not that I am proud, but I do think that God allowed in my life the abusive time with my dad to be able to help others, because it's part of my calling. So I have never hide it. That some people kind of think that you are sharing your story to get something from them. No, I share my story to, if my story can help somebody, thank God for my pain from that. But we met, and I started, he asked about my life, my family, and he has Latino roots as well. His family is from Puerto Rico. So I start sharing, and the more, I realized that he is funny, he is engaging, that he talks. It's just that when he's shy and he doesn't know the people, it takes a while for him to warm up. And I started loving that side of him. And, we got married after 18 months together. And I am so blessed, Kimberly. God could not pick a better husband for me.
Oh my God.
Because I am intense. I know that. I am intense, I am spicy, I am loud, and he's the opposite.
And that's the perfect blend.
Yes.
And that's like my husband and I as well. Like, really that balance. So you get married, now you're in your mid 30s. And then what?
We were in Jacksonville, we were Orlando, Jacksonville. Then we moved to Tennessee. And then we decided that we wanted to have kids after 2 years of being married. So that's another journey.
Okay.
Huge one.
So, yeah. So I want to hear about that. Can you share what happened so now you're ready to start your own family?
Yes.
How did that go?
Didn't go well. Didn't go well.
Okay.
But the end of the story, it's incredibly, amazingly beautiful. But it didn't go well. I started trying and, got pregnant. No problem getting pregnant. Very easy. Had my first miscarriage. Then, okay, normal. My OBGYN in Tennessee ran some tests and they say, she said, okay, let me run some tests. Let's see why you pregnant. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. So got pregnant again, had another miscarriage. So they were doing a lot of testing, couldn't find anything wrong, did a lot of testing. Mark is perfect. They put me starting on hormonal treatment, got pregnant for a third time, got another miscarriage. So I lost 5 babies, basically.
Oh my God.
Was pregnant 5 times. 2 of those were a little bit advanced. I was starting my second trimester. Yeah, I think my last miscarriage was with IUI. So that didn't work as well. So they started testing me and doing a lot of things. But the problem is because I don't have a thyroid, I do have a lot of reactions to a lot of medication without even knowing. And I was having a reaction to all the hormonal pills and the IUI that they were putting me in. So that was failed pregnancy. So my OBGYN decided to put me in IVF. So I said, okay, let's do it. I started doing IVF, and the first one didn't go that bad, but I had 0 viable embryos. So the second one sent me to a hospital 2 times because my uterus was expanding due to the hormones every time I was injecting myself. So I was, for example, sleeping, and I used to wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning and screaming, like from sleeping to screaming. And I was in the hospital, and when they, I have to explain what I'm doing. When in the ER, they told me your uterus is expanding double and triple the size. It's gonna erupt. So at that time, that was my second IVF. Going to the third one, I told my OBGYN, I said, please, let's do one more. I do have faith, and I was, we're talking about, I'm trying to resume the story, but this is 9 years of struggling, tears, therapy, not feeling myself guilty as a mother, like how I'm gonna do this. I can't even bear that child, So on the third one, I had 0 viable embryos too. And that third one sent me to a hospital and left me there for, I think I was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days because my uterus enlarged until 3 times. So the OBGYN told Mark and I will not do a third. I wanted to go to a 4th one, but my doctor told me, Tatiana, you are very sick. And you are reacting to every single hormonal treatment that we're putting, and I do not want to risk your life more. I said, like all my hormones were wacko. I was depressed, so many mixed emotions. And she said to Mark and I, if you want to hire somebody else, it's up to you, but this is my limit as a doctor. And I love Dr. Jessica, and I will always be grateful because she put me in a state of mind that I understood that being a mother doesn't give me an identity. And my husband told me I will not lose my wife for having a child. So if this is our a final destination of not having children after 9 years of trying, I said, so be it. We are complete as a couple, and I did felt like that. And I think the healing that I did in my past, helped. Like I realized that I didn't, for me to be complete as a woman, as a person, to offer something to society, motherhood was not gonna complete that. I was already whole as a woman and complete. So that helped me so much. And that's when my blessing came.
Okay. Tell us about your blessing.
Basically, after we decided we're good of not having kids, 3 years later, we basically received a phone call. We enlisted ourselves in adoption. and we enlisted ourselves, and we basically adopt a baby.
And what's your baby's name?
His name is Asher.
And he's the cutest boy.
Yeah.
He was just here.
Well, we didn't adopt one. Let's make that clear. We adopted two.
Okay.
Yes, we adopted two, and Asher, I don't want to spoil it because we will talk more about it.
Oh, yes.
But yes, I finally became a mother after, we did fostering. We learned so much about fostering children's. Mark and I, when we didn't have children, and when we decided that we were okay without it due to my health issues, we in Chattanooga, we became foster parents. We went to some courses and basically enlisted ourselves, and we fostered a beautiful girl named Destiny for a year and a half.
Oh.
And sometimes a lot of people, fostering, you think you're doing something for a foster child. No, they do something to you.
Oh.
They change you in so many ways. They teach you basically how to love unconditional in ways that, at least Kimberly, I never imagined that could be possible. Because, for example, for Destiny, oh my God. She wanted two things in life: a family and a suitcase. Because foster children, and a lot of foster moms out there know that I'm saying the truth, foster children carry their clothes in trash bags. And that's all they yearn. In most cases, I think that has changed a lot. That there's institutions, or I think there's a page on Instagram that is called Foster Love that I follow, that they do that campaign. Backpacks and suitcases. So they don't carry their clothes in backpacks, in trash bags. And when we met Destiny, we asked her, if there's anything you would like, it takes a lot for them to trust after being in such an abuse. And she came, Destiny's file of abuse was huge.
Oh my God. How old was she, by the way?
14.
Oh.
And Destiny, all she said is, I just want a family and a suitcase so I don't carry my clothes in trash bags. And she literally changed us. She gave us the opportunity, honestly, as human beings, to focus on the right things. Sometimes as human beings, we focus on the wrong things, material things, and all that is vain when you don't have the foundation. And Destiny did so much good to us. And it wasn't us to her, and we did a lot, but it was the other way around. Is how God is using that foster child to change our hearts.
Wow. That is powerful.
And she did until today's day. She will remain a very important person in our life. And then after that, that's when, going through the foster adoption process to see if we were going to adopt her. It didn't work, but to see if we were going to do it or not, God gave us the opportunity and the blessing to enlist ourselves for adoption, and we end up adopting a child. Two, actually. Both of my kids are adopted, and I couldn't be more blessed about it.
So, and Asher now, how old is he right now?
5.
He's 5. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about Asher and everything that is Asher. He's going to probably have multiple episodes. So we're going to just leave that gently there, and we will revisit that on future episodes and very extensively. So don't worry. You're not going to miss out on Asher, we promise.
And Nikki.
And then your second adoption.
My baby girl. And she is blood related. Nikki is my oldest brother's daughter. She's my brother's daughter. And we basically adopted her because she was diagnosed in Colombia with a very rare type of pancreatic cancer. Rare.
And so Nikki was diagnosed with a rare type of pancreatic cancer at what age?
I think 14. She was sick for 10 months. And the doctors couldn't find out what was wrong with her. And until, I think, 10 months, she was in and out of the hospital. She was hypokalemic, underweight for her age, basically, very underweight. And finally, God sent an angel, discovered that her issue was pancreatic cancer. And she was airlifted to one of the main hospitals in Bogota, the capital of Colombia, to have surgery there to remove the cancer. And that was basically when her life got saved. They saved her life over there. But in that process of sickness, and she was sick, I personally, and she knows that, I didn't thought that she was so sick that I literally thought that she was gonna die. And we didn't know what to do, how to do it, how to help and everything. And that's when united as a family, my husband, myself, my brother, my sister-in-law, the four of us came united together of why if we bring her here to give her medical care. And I put myself right now in my brother's shoes and my sister-in-law, they had to surrender the parental right to us so we can adopt her. And Kimberly, I know this may sound cheesy, but if I was in my case, I know we do whatever it takes for our children. When I became a mother of Asher, I said, I understood what my brother did. So hard. Nikki's still their daughter. Mark and I will never occupy a place in her life that doesn't belong. We are aunt and uncle, and by paper, mother and dad over here in the United States. But this sacrifice and love that my brother and my sister-in-law did, because they literally handed us a 14-year-old to be able to help her. And that is a love I have never seen before. So she is my second baby. And she is with us.
That is just beyond remarkable on so many levels. And how old is Nikki today, and how is she doing today?
She is 22. She is stable, not in remission yet. I will let her talk more about the ups and downs of what came after the surgery. She's here. She's stable. Thank God. She's shining, serving at church, going to school for business and marketing, loving it. She's an incredible, amazing 22-year-old girl, well-grounded. Couldn't ask for a better daughter, honestly.
It's just unbelievable how your family came together to do the absolute best you could, and are continuing to do every single day to support her, nurture her, keep her safe, keep her thriving. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable that you've done this.
And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. That was God's purpose. It's odd because 3 months ago, somebody asked me, and Mark, we were together, somebody asked me, said, and knows a little bit about our story and that both of my kids are adopted. And she said, didn't you miss giving birth? I said, no. I don't believe giving birth makes you a mother, because there's a lot of mothers that give birth and they give their kids away.
That's right.
So that doesn't make you a mother.
That's right.
Motherhood is the raising on a daily basis.
Yes.
And I really don't. I am, as a woman, Kimberly, I am complete. I don't have any regrets. And, I could have gone for a fourth IVF treatment. A lot of people, they made it in the third, in the fourth, in the fifth. There's a woman on Instagram that I think went to 5 or 6, and she's still battling infertility. No, I am absolutely crazy for my kids. I am complete as a mother. I didn't have the need to give, birth them. God bless women like you that were able to give birth to 3 children. I would have loved to, but that doesn't define me.
No.
At all.
No, it doesn't.
I love my adopted babies.
Yes.
And they are my babies. And
beautiful. I mean, I think the audience can get a sense of the fact that you have been through a ton, to say the least, and that they can look forward to just taking so much knowledge and love and practical and tactical things away from your show. And we will continue to explore everything you've been through, everything you've done. We have so much to give. And I think the most important thing is congratulating you on being brave enough to share all of your pain and turn it into purpose, as you have done for decades now. And hopefully through this podcast, you will be able to inspire, educate, motivate your audience and build a community. And I know that for you, I'll say it, Tata is really here to serve. That is the entire reason. As we started from the beginning, she always continues to go back to, I want to be giving and serving families to the best of my ability through the show.
I truly want that, Kimberly. This is not a regular podcast. I truly want to be able to offer mothers any information. If I don't know, we'll dig together. But I truly want to serve through the parenting experience. I want to be able to give mothers hope, tell them that no matter how your motherhood journey is, there's hope, there's light at the end of the tunnel, that, I know there's mothers with like triplets, multiple special needs, all different kind. Fostering is tough. And if you are not with your mental health well put together, it can affect you. We did it for 2 years, and it can affect you. It can affect your home. It can affect your kids. It can affect your marriage. So all I want to do is together as a community be able to offer something. And I hope and I pray, that's my prayer, that I can do it. Together with the team, I will not do this by myself. And when I mean together as a team, I also want to take the opportunity to thank you, because you're part of this team. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I truly believe that. You believed in me. And I truly believe, like I said earlier, you give honor who honor deserves. And I want to honor you, and I want to say thank you for the bottom of my life, for believing, encouraging me. We've been working in this for over a year, and finally, we're here today. So, thank you. I admire you so much. I admire you, the woman you are, the businesswoman that you are, the mother that you are, the wife that you are, because I have seen the back scenes of your life. And I have so much respect and admiration for who you are as a person and in so many areas.
Well, thank you. I am equally honored and respect you and adore you. And can we just wrap on sharing a little bit about the magic bucket for our audience?
Oh, the magic bucket. The concept of the magic bucket is we're going to put here prizes, giveaways, information.
Yes.
And to be able to help children's mothers, fathers, parents, single moms, pregnant women, and anything in between.
That's
so get used to the magic bucket.
The magic bucket is going to be a part of our show, your show, not my show, your show. And in the spirit of all your giving, which is really the underpinning of your entire mission, we are going to be gifting all kinds of things. So for those of you that have made it this far into the episode, thank you so much for watching. There are so many wonderful episodes to come, and we are so happy to be on this journey with you. Please follow Tata and her brand and her wonderful show at The Parenting Experience. And really it's about serving and supporting you and taking all of Tata's wonderful gifts that she has to offer the world and giving everything away to make them the best impact she possibly can. So congratulations, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Bye, my beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of The Parenting Experience. You can write in and ask your questions on our show's Instagram page at The Parenting Experience, and we will address your questions on an upcoming episode. If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share this episode with your partner, your sister, brother, and extended friends and family. Share the knowledge and support we're giving to you. Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we will greatly appreciate it.